Hello again, guys. So last night before I went to bed, I'd asked the Lord to show me what's getting ready to occur in the immediate future concerning the markets. And so early this morning, He had given me this very serious warning concerning the markets. Now, this dream was very real. It was very detailed, but I'm going to keep it very short and just try as best as I can to convey the message of the dream. Now, in this dream, my nephew dropped me off at this very fancy hotel. This hotel was on the beach, and I checked in on the top floor, or very near the top floor. There was also a receptionist on the top floor, very close to my room. I remember that I went into my room, and I spent a few minutes. Then I came back out, and I also remember that I'd forgotten my number keys to my room. But then I remembered them, which was 1712. I remember I tried a few numbers. I tried 17 and a couple of other numbers. Didn't work. And then I tried 1712. Then I went into my room again. I remember also I stayed in my room long enough for the shift for the receptionist to change. And so when I came back out of my room, there was a new receptionist. Now, while I was walking in the hallways on the top floor of this hotel, I remember that there were these guys that were installing a brand new self-serving food station. And I remember one of the guys saying that, you know what, now the guests won't have to be served. They can go ahead and serve themselves. And that right there, I think, is very significant. Anyhow, I remember now while I was heading back towards my room, while walking in the hallways, looking through the windows of this hotel, I was looking off on the ocean because, like I said, this hotel was on the beach, and these strong winds started to blow out of nowhere. Now, I remember that when these strong winds started to impact the hotel, I began to feel more than a little bit apprehensive of the building being toppled over. And so I literally felt that this building, if the wind continued blowing the way it is, it's going to topple over. And so I literally felt that the building's going to topple over. I prepared myself to exit this building before it toppled. And so this building was swaying left to right. And right before it made the last sway, before it toppled over, I somehow managed to escape, to come out of this building supernaturally. Because usually in reality, that would be impossible. But I managed to escape this building before it toppled over. That's before it made its very last sway. I jumped out, and I literally witnessed this building topple. The wind blew this building right out of its foundations, and it started to slide on its side off a cliff. Now, while it was on the ground, after the hotel that I was in had already toppled, it came out of its foundations. I remember that there was another building over to the other side. And I was witnessing this building also being blown over by these very impetuous, these very forceful winds. It just blew that hotel as well, the entire hotel, a big hotel, right out of its foundations as well. And this other hotel that had just been toppled was sliding and heading towards me. And I had to jump out of the way so that it wouldn't crush me and kill me. Now, after all of this had happened, I remember there were some people emerging, and we were going through the rubble, and I was just thinking about my wallet and wondering if I'd left it in my room, in my hotel room. And so I was going through the rubble trying to find my hotel room in all of this rubble, along with other people as well. That's what people were thinking about, their wallets. They were wondering if they had left their wallets in their hotel rooms, and if they could recover some or even all of their money that was left in their hotel rooms. And so I was doing the same. I remember I was going through the rubble in this hotel that I was staying at. And while I was heading towards my room, or trying to find my room where I thought my wallet was at, I was picking up several wallets on the ground in this rubble. I was finding them underneath the broken concrete and scattered all over the place, several of them, more than 10 wallets that had money in them. I was picking them up. And at some point, I discovered that I actually had my wallet on me. It was in my back pocket. So I was relieved. And I also remember that there was a thief that had gone and stolen a large sum of cash while the hotel was on the ground when it had crashed. A thief had went in when it had crashed and stolen a large sum of money from one of the guests of this hotel. And so before the experience ended, I remember this guy that I was standing beside was saying to himself over and over, why did I leave my money in my room? Why did I leave my cash in my room? Why did I leave my wallet in my room? And I could sense that it was a very stupid move. It was very foolish to leave our wallets in the hotel room. It was a very foolish move. And so, beloved, the interpretation of this dream, I believe, has to deal with the exchanges. I believe that in the near future, a lot of exchanges are going to tumble. Now, I don't know which ones. That wasn't shown to me. But I know that exchanges are going to tumble without a doubt. The Lord himself has shown this to me and even given it to me as an answer to a direct request of what's getting ready to occur in the markets. Now, if exchanges are going down, that means the markets are going to tumble as well. And so that's why I was picking up people's wallets on the ground, literally underneath the rubble of these fallen hotels. Because at first I was at the very top floor of this hotel. And then I jumped out at the top, very similar to previous visions that I've had. And then at the bottom, I went through and I was picking up several people's wallets that was in the wreckage of these fallen hotels, which I believe represents exchanges, but not limited to exchanges. It could possibly be cryptocurrencies as well, the big ones. Who knows? But you guys are open to your own interpretation. So please take this message, this dream, to the Lord in prayer, and please take the necessary steps to secure your finances. Do some research on the Ledger Nano X and get yourself one as soon as you can, and position yourself to start storing your money like the Ledger Nano X. Now, beloveds, I've shared with you what the Lord had revealed to me concerning the markets in the immediate future. So yeah, beloveds, take the necessary steps. The Lord, King, bless and keep you. Love from your brother in Christ.